everybody, and welcome back to Taste of Reality. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Married at First Sight Australia Season 9, Episode 34. Before we get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and I knew I could trust y'all. We hit 17K. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now let's get into the review. We're going to start off with Selena and Cody. Selena is finally able to take Cody home because travel restrictions have eased up a bit in their area. And so at first, I'm pretty sure it was her place that she brought him to. And immediately he knocks over one of her good luck omens that was gifted to her by her mom. And she's like, well, this is not a good sign. But when he does meet the mother, initially, the first impression was very good.
Thank you so much for hosting and having us here.
Thank you so much.
Well, then welcome. And this is for Kim. I'm not sure if he's around, but
Yeah.
I got recommended.
Oh, he have a wedding to go today.
Oh, do
yeah,
they?
yeah.
Oh, shame.
Now here goes Cody being Cody. Cody is trying to be a good son-in-law by helping out his mother-in-law. Of course, we use these terms, but you know, that's not really the case. And he is given like two teacup situations. Did I just call teacups a situation? Yeah, I did. And he drops the mom's favorite china.
That showed to me that he is clumsy. Very, very clumsy. He's not really handle stuff properly. Maybe the situation too.
Cody could just have very bad spatial skills. You know, he kind of fumbles over himself, kind of overshot where the table was. I don't know, but the mom wasn't impressed regardless, okay? So they're starting to talk about future plans. And he brings up that he lives with a roommate, which is obviously a red flag for the mother. She brings up Selena, brings up his lack of emotional expression and communication, also a red flag. And my personal red flag, I think he's just like a lighthearted person. He doesn't like having a lot of serious conversations, but even in talking about something that very well could be serious, he has this subtle laugh as he speaks. And to me, it kind of makes me feel like he just doesn't take Selena. I think I don't know. I just feel like there's a nervousness that comes over him when he talks about them, and that would make me nervous. She is still very into him regardless of the encounter with the mom. So, I mean, don't let us deter you. If it's real love, then it'll be, you know? Before he leaves, they're having a moment in the bed where they're really realizing like, damn, I really like being around you. You know, this is the first time in 3 months that they've been away from each other for longer than 24 hours, right? And so before Cody leaves, he gifts Selena 2 otters. It was otters, right? Sea lions? Otters. He gives them to her, and apparently that's her spirit animal.
It's a little sponsorship for an otter. He kind of like adopted him.
I love him so much.
Yeah, I think it's otters, right? Because otters are the ones who like sleep together, like holding hands so that they don't drift away from each other, which that is so freaking cute. Oh my gosh. So he decided to take one with him so that, you know, one day they come back together. I'm like, okay, Cody can be cute sometimes. Sometimes. Moving on to Olivia and Jackson. As everyone is packing to go home, Jackson has concerns about Olivia's prior behavior.
If Liv's behaviour was to become a common occurrence, we'd definitely be having a lot different discussion.
We're away from each other now. Like, yeah, that's hard.
So the umpteen times she has exhibited vile behavior throughout this process doesn't ring off some alarm bells for you? That to you is not a common occurrence? Jackson, one of you guys did say that apparently there was a moment, or there were a few moments where Jackson actually said similar things to Olivia, but that was edited out to kind of make him seem like the innocent person who's with this vindictive character. And if that's the case, that makes a whole lot of sense because these two, the way that they've been edited, it's a recipe for disaster. Olivia's having a revelation and wishes that she had handled things differently. Again, just like Selena from the last episode, these late epiphanies, I'm sorry, I don't have sympathy for them. I don't have empathy for them. You're unable to see the error of your ways either while you're doing it or shortly after you're doing it. It's now a week or so, 2 weeks later, where you're like, oh, wow, that person was really hurting. Come on.
It just turned into something ugly, and I'm half to blame for that. I regret the way that I spoke to Monica. It's really gut-wrenching that it got taken to the level that it did, and that not only Jackson, but everyone's there to see it.
She does end up having a conversation with her cousin who gives her the brutal honesty and says, well, were you the one who was instigating stuff? You have a tendency of doing that. She really makes Olivia take accountability for the situation, which is good. However, for me, as an adult, especially an adult who plans to be married, if you are unable to take accountability, that's a red flag for me. That honestly is like a really big point of contention, because how are we going to be able to go forward in our marriage if you cannot see the error of your ways, or if you cannot stop yourself before doing something that's going to be detrimental in our relationship? And the fact that Jackson doesn't see that, sure. Anyways, fast forward to their vows. In her vows, they were very complimentary. And essentially, she was saying, thank you for putting up with my shit.
I've been accused by others of being a vindictive grudge holder with an agenda for revenge. I've been attacked and pushed to breaking point, but never once by you.
She told him she loved him, which took him a little bit off guard. He did seem flustered, teared up just a little bit, but that's all he could do at the moment. And then in his vows, he did pinpoint that the adversity throughout the experiment has been a concern for him going forward.
And it leaves me worried that your tendency to hold grudges might one day end up with you holding a grudge against one of my friends.
Listen, you are so worried about your friends. What about you? What about you, Jackson? At some point when the honeymoon phase fades away, when the rose-colored glasses are gone, when the cameras are gone, when there's no experts, you guys are going to get into an argument. And the way that she's handled other people would show me that I would one day be susceptible to that kind of behavior. That doesn't concern you at all. He's more concerned about how she's potentially going to treat his friends, how she's potentially going to treat his family. What about potentially treating you? All right. So he did, however, say he's not quite in love, but he hopes to one day get there. They chose to walk off in the sunset in his happy days, right? So the way that I do these reviews, regardless of the show, I don't go looking for tea. So I know some people in the comments were like, girl, they're still together. Okay, I'm not going to go searching for it unless it comes to me. And I had seen Romance Review TV on Instagram and on YouTube, you should go follow her, post these pictures of Olivia and Jackson on the beach and stuff. And I was like, you know what? If they make it work, that's great. Just like every other show, I wish people well in the end, regardless of how I felt about the situation. Do I think they're going to last? No. But I wish you well. Last but not least is Tamara and Brent, who, man, volatile to the bitter end. So Tamara meets up with her best friend, the best friend who was there doing the family meeting thing in the theater. And the friend says that she knew Tamara and Brent would not be compatible.
Well, my first thought when I saw Brent that he's not your type. You're so committed to your job, you can't have someone who doesn't enjoy what they do.
I actually don't even honestly still understand what he does.
I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the idea of, if you were not into this person from day dot, why continue? One person in the comments was saying it probably was for the paycheck, and very well that could be the case, right? But for me, like, I'm not gonna be with somebody who I consider to be insufferable just for some money. Especially if she claims to be that ballin' in real life. She keeps turning her nose up at Brent because she apparently has a more successful career. This show should mean nothing. You should say, listen, we're not compatible, bye. So whatever. Brent tells his mom that he still cares for Tamara, and the mom is like, I don't give a damn. Leave her.
Personally, I'd like to see Brent walk away because I don't think that Tamara is right for him. If he's not happy, Tamara.
Yo, shout out to the mama because she was giving me all the energy that I needed to see. So fast forward to the vows. In Tamara's vows, she basically said, "You're insecure, you're a fragile man, and being with you made me miss all the things about my real life, and I'd want to be anywhere but here." That's a paraphrase.
I feel you were putting on a brave face and using your ego as a protective shield for insecurities in a relationship. Being with you made me feel homesick. It made me feel out of place and miss what I left behind.
Now in his vows, Brent, he starts off very complimentary, which I feel like is a given. Like, he has always given Tamara the benefit of the doubt. He's always like given her flowers when she's been a great person, right? But then his little speech takes a sharp turn, okay? And he essentially is like, "You're a horrible human being."
You became vindictive, spiteful, and self-absorbed. The screaming, the breakdown of communication, the refusal to give in or let go, and eventually the inability to be kind destroyed us. I've seen the real you, the one who doesn't respect me or anyone around her, and I realize you lack all the qualities I'm looking for in a partner. So on that note, good luck, good riddance.
The last few episodes, Brent has been so dramatic. The walking away at the boat, the throwing of the ring at the dinner, now the walking away at the... Babes, you're kind of making it seem like Tamara was onto something. Like, really? It was a drop the mic situation? All right, Brent, like, go ahead and feel your feels. You were doing a little bit much for me. Next episode is the rest of the decisions. And then Selena's mom is actually going to say that she does not think Cody is the one, which I'm sure we can all agree. Is there a reunion for this show? Like an actual reunion, not the dinner thing that they did? Because maybe we should go live to talk about that. Yeah, y'all let me know. If there's a reunion, then we'll definitely go live. Not to watch it together, just to talk about it. That's it. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.